This is the Desmos graphing calculator, and it's probably going to be the reason why you are going to max out your SAT math score. This calculator is able to solve over half of your SAT questions with just a few buttons. In this video, you're going to learn about 3 key things: the basic functions of Desmos, how you can use Desmos to make your SAT so much easier, and then we're going to go into actually answering some questions. There are a few things that you should be able to locate on Desmos. So your exponents are right there. If you want to find subscripts, you just type in x and a value, or y and a value, and it would be a subscript automatically. If you want to find your inequalities, they're right there. Your square roots are on the bottom, and absolute value is on the left side. Now I'm going to move on to what Desmos can actually do for you. Now, this isn't how to solve questions for Desmos. It's just the basic overview. You're going to see what I mean. First of all, you can plot and label points. So I'm going to plot a point. I'm going to do 0, 3. And right there, and then I'm going to label it. I will make it Elisa's point. There you go. Now it says that. You can also label it as the point in case you want to visualize it and see the numbers. And then next, you can check expressions and equivalents. So for example, if it tells you that what's equivalent to like 2x plus 3, I'm going to go squared, and then minus 4. And then it says what's equivalent. You can just plug in all the answer choices. This is just something I came up with in my head, but you would plug in all the answer choices here, and then whichever one matches is what you would pick. So let me just pick, let me just open it up. Say this was an answer choice, right? We're going to assume it is. Now, obviously, we know that's the answer, but like that's how you would do it. And then whichever one matches like that is your answer. Let's say you had this thing right here. Obviously, it's going to be more complex on the SAT, but say you had plus 4. What you're going to do is you're going to break it up. You're going to make it y1 is equal to 2x plus 1, and then y2 is equal to negative x plus 4. There you go. So we're going to cross this out. And then this is going to be your solution right here. This works for literally anything. If they're asking, say they only gave you the black line, right? And they said find the solutions or roots or whatever. It's right here. So when it crosses the x, if you're looking for y-intercept, is when it crosses the y. So right here, you can use it to find any of those things. So don't waste your time trying to solve things like that. So we're going to do a little parabola equation, and I'm going to show you how you can use that to find minimum and maximum. So let's use 2x plus 2 squared minus 3. Okay, so right here, we can use this to find the minimum. So this would be the minimum, -2, -3, and you can also see that we can find our roots or solutions and our y-intercept right there. So yeah, and then you can also use it to find mean, median, and data. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on this, go to functions, and then scroll until you see statistics. If you have a set of numbers that you want to find the mean or median or min or max for, literally just type it here, type in the number. So we can do 3, 4, 5, 6, and then it gives it to you right there. So that's nice. And then for circles, say you had a circle and you wanted to find the radius or diameter, you can just plug it in. So we're going to do plus y plus 3 squared equal to 9. So there we go. We have a circle. Yeah, and then you could just count 1, 2, 3, and that's our radius right there, guys. So it's pretty simple to do. And then you also get trig shortcuts. So if you want to find tangent or cosine and things like that, you just write tan and then add your values to it. Okay, and then you can also find distance and midpoint with Desmos. It's super cool. You just go down here, right here, geometry, just click on distance. Okay, here are the types of questions that we're going to be covering today. We're going to cover linear equations with intercepts. We're going to cover linear equations with relationships and constants. We're going to cover absolute value equations, and we're going to talk a little bit about circles. Now, obviously, I can't compress every single SAT question into one video, but I'm going to do it in parts and try my best to group them into similar categories. So the first equation we're going to be tackling is this one right here. It says the graph of 7x plus 2y equals -31 and the xy plane has an x-intercept at a, 0 and a y-intercept at 0, b, where a and b are constants. What is the value of b over a? We know that this is the equation and we know that these are the x and y intercepts. So what you're going to do is you're going to type this equation into Desmos. So 7x plus 2y equals -31. 7x plus 2y is equal to -31, right? Once you have that, you're going to go back. So it says that the x-intercept is at a, 0. So look here. This is the x-intercept right here because it's crossing the x-axis. So you're just going to click on it. This button right here is going to put it here for you. So you know this is the x, and then the y is at 0b. So we're going to look for y. Y is right here at 0. So just do that. Okay, now it says, what's the value of b over a? So we know that y is b. So you're going to do 15.5 over, and then you can just copy that right over. Oh, I forgot my negative. We're going to add that. And there you go. That is your answer. It's going to be 3.5. And 3.5, let's see, that is going to be 7 over 2, which is 3.5. So that's your answer right here. Okay, here's our next problem. So whenever you get a table problem, you're literally going to plug in the table into Desmos. So we're going to do that now. Just go to plus tables, right? And then let's see, k is 213. And then we know that k plus 7 is -15. So k plus 7 and then -15. Okay, now let's go back to what the question says. It says that the y-intercept of the line is k minus 5, b. We know that when we have the y-intercept, the x value is 0 because, you know, it's crossing the y-axis, so x is nothing. So we know that k has to be 5 because you want the x. So this entire thing is supposed to be x. You want this to be 0. So 5 minus 5 is 0. So you can go into Desmos and you can do k is equal to 5. And then you go to this button right here and set it for linear regression. Already says that. And then it's going to literally do it for you. And so now they're asking for the value of b. So now we have our line and b is right here. b is 33. That's how you do it. Okay, next question. So this one, we once again have a table. So we're going to go into Desmos and we're going to create a table. And I recommend doing this with me as I do it, just so you actually get practice and not just watch. But obviously, if you're not, if you're busy, that's totally fine. But try practicing on your own. Okay, after you plug in your table, what you're going to do is you're going to set S to 1. Okay, and then once again, make a linear regression. Okay, once you have that, so it gives us answer choices, which is great. Plug in the answer choices into Desmos. You have to kind of solve these to match this right here, but you can just plug it in. So we're gonna plug in, well, I mean, this says the answer right here. So let me show you why that's correct. So 3x plus sy is equal to 18s, and there you go. Literally the exact same line. Okay, here's our next question. So for the linear function f, the table shows 3 values of x and their corresponding values of f of x. If h of x equals f of x minus 13, which equation defines h? So once again, type in your table into Desmos. That's the first thing you should be doing. So we're going to go to table. And I think y'all get the idea now, so I'm not going to show you me typing it in. And then once again, you're going to go to linear regression. This time there's no variable, so that's amazing. Okay, so now we have our equation. Let's go back and look at what it's asking us. Okay, so over here it says that f of x, but we are going to call that y1 when solving, and that's this right here and this right here. So this equation represents f of x. So we know that h of x is equal to f of x minus 13. So we're going to plug that in. We're going to do h of x is equal to, and we know that f of x is 5x plus 20, so 5x plus 20. Oh, don't forget your parentheses. And then minus 13. And then you just want to simplify that. So that's going to be h of x is equal to 5x, and then subtract 13 from 20. And so yeah, your equation is h of x is equal to 5x plus 7. So here we're told that f of cx is equal to x minus 8. And we also know that f of 2 is equal to 35. So right here. So we need to find the value of c. That's what the question is asking. So the function gives f of cx in terms of x, not f of x directly. So we need to find what x is to make c isolated. So what we're going to do is we're going to set cx to 2. Because f of 2 is equivalent to f of cx, right? And then we're going to solve for x, so that's going to be x is equal to 2 over c. Now we can plug that into our original equation. So we're going to do f of cx is equal to, and then we know it's x, that's 2 over c minus 8. And now we're going to set up the equation. It's going to be 35 equals 2 over c minus 8. I'm going to explain why I set 35 equals to 2 over c minus 8 just a tiny bit more. So the reason why that is because 35 is a known value of f of 2. We know f of 2 is equal to 35. And then 2 over c minus 8 is the formula expression for f of 2 based on the function definition. So that's why they are both equivalent, because they represent the same thing. Okay, so now we're gonna go to Desmos finally. We're gonna set up a regression, guys. So it's gonna be 35. We're gonna use the tilde. Make sure you use the tilde, it's not going to work. 2 over c and minus 8. And there you go. Okay, I would argue that this question is probably the easiest one you can use Desmos for. What we're going to do is we're going to go into Desmos. We're going to do y1 is equal to negative 49x. And then y2 is equal to negative 98x. And the question asks for how many solutions. So we're going to find the point of intersection for these two. I'm going to have to zoom in, and it's 0, 0. That's going to be one solution. Okay, for this one it says, what is the sum of the solutions to the given equation? And we have absolute value x minus 8 is equal to negative absolute value x minus 8 plus 20. You could probably solve this one, but honestly just plug it into Desmos. So we're going to do it in Desmos. We're going to do y1 is equal to absolute value x minus 8, which is the first part. And then the second part is going to be y2 is equal to this part. So y2 is equal to negative x, that right there. And then you just literally just check the x's. So it's negative 2 and then 18. And then you're going to do 18 minus 2, which is 16. And so the answer is 16 because you're looking for the sum of the solutions. Okay, so for this question, it says, what is the value of x that satisfies both equations above? So what you're going to do is you're going to go into Desmos. You're going to type in these two in separate lines, but you're going to make k x. So absolute value 10 minus x, close your absolute value. Ooh, where is it? Oh, there we go. Equals 3. And then you're going to do the same thing. It's going to be x minus 5, close it, and equal to 8. Okay, so I'm going to turn this off for a second. You see that when I turn it back on, these two align, meaning this is the only one that satisfies. So you're going to zoom in, and then it's 13. That's your answer. For these three problems, I put them all together because they're essentially asking for the exact same thing. I'm sorry about that. So let's go back. So it's all giving you an equation for a circle, and then what you have to do is find the radius or the diameter. So I'm going to pick a random one. I'm going to go with this one because it's the easiest. But what you would do is you would just take this equation and plug it into Desmos. So we're going to go with, let's see. Okay, so x minus 5 squared. That's going to be plus y minus 3 squared equals 16. Okay, and then where's our circle? Right here, and then you just count. So what was it asking for? Diameter. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's your diameter. And that's what you would do for the other ones. Guys, we're finally done. I know that was so much information, but I hope that was helpful. In the next video, we're going to be talking about SAT math rules and the questions that don't require Desmos. So make sure to check that out, and bye!